I'm Madeline Monahan, but you can call me Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. And today I am finally getting to that book-related content I keep talking about when I introduce myself in live streams. There's actually another book that I wanted to talk about, sit down and sort of review, if you will. It is not with me though, I did not bring it with me. So I am going to review real quick just another book that I have that I read actually while I was down here. And that is this. The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. I know that this book has actually been really popular lately. I sort of picked this up on a whim. I had heard about it. I don't even remember how I heard about it. I think I was just like surfing Amazon and was looking for books, and this was one of the things that they recommended to me, and I was like, it seems all right. And then I went to the bookstore and I was like, yeah, let's try it. I finished it just the other day. I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it. So a quick rundown on the story. It is about a young woman named Alessandra who actually has the same name as my cousin, I'm realizing. She is the second daughter of an earl. What is she the second daughter of? She's second daughter of nobility or something. I actually don't remember if they say what her father is, but she sort of has this scheme, this little power grab, that she is going to woo the Shadow King and marry him and then kill him and take his throne, which we all love an ambitious female protagonist, don't we? So it's sort of like an enemies to lovers story. I think that is actually what it's marketed as, or known as, is being an enemies to lovers story. My cats are running around in the background. The Shadows Between Us is interesting. It is a standalone. There's no follow-up, there's no prequel. It definitely feels like there is a beginning, middle, end, and that there's not really anywhere else you could go with the story. I almost felt like it was a little bit too short. Not in the way that I think most people think. The pacing of this book is actually very well done. I was pleasantly surprised with the progression of the characters and the transitions that they go through. And I thought that those were done at a very well-paced rate. The thing to me that makes it feel like it's too short is that when you reach the climax of the book, it felt very sudden and very quick, and then it ended. And it was a little bit jarring almost that it happened that fast and then it just ends. And I would have liked at least maybe like one more chapter just to kind of, you know, flesh out the ending a little bit more. But that's just my personal opinion. Obviously, I'm sure that it makes sense to everybody else for it to be that way. I just felt like it would have been nice to have a little bit of a breather between the climax and the resolution, you know, just kind of have like, even like maybe not even a full chapter, but just a few more pages just to offer that like, whew, now we're back to calming down, you know, because the climax had sort of come on so suddenly. That was really my only complaint with the book, was the sudden end and the rush at the end. Everything else about it I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed Alessandra as a character. I really enjoyed Callias. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I did feel that there were some scenes that were, while in the long run necessary, not entirely necessary. Almost like it was like filler, and that's where I was like, okay, you could easily take this time you spent on this scene and put it a little bit more towards the end of this. But again, that's just my opinion. But overall, I was pleasantly surprised with this book. It is a little dark, and by a little dark, I mean there is murder. And for me, you know, it was funny reading this because I am a criminology major. These kinds of things really get to me when there is someone who disappears and they don't know what happened to them, they don't know where they are, and it's just like, so reading it from a criminology standpoint made me a little bit angry with that subplot. I was very like this is not okay, but again, I come from a field where I'm studying that, and it has been drilled in my mind that that's not okay. and that is not the proper way to act. And so it's in that sense, it was very difficult for me to get through that subplot. If you've read I'm trying to keep this as spoiler free as possible for people who haven't read it, because I know that my friend Brooke over at Brooke Writes, she has not read it yet, so if she ever watches this, I can't say anything. I just felt like that was a little bit heavy, but it's because I read real life cases where that happens and I have to look at crime scenes where that has happened. So for me, that was just a little bit heavy, and I was a little bit mad with how the characters handled that. But in the context of the story, it was fine, you know. It's nothing against the book. It's just a personal emotions, if you will. I also just really liked the side characters in this book too. I'm just gonna have it hang out on my shoulder. I really liked Rhoda. I really liked Hesia. They're fun and I like them, and I like the scheming in it. I loved how she planned out everything, and I just thought the scheming was so clever. So it is a very, very clever book. I was really impressed with how just smart and cunning the main character is. Like, it's actually kind of scary how smart and cunning she is. But I also enjoyed watching that transition, the progression that she goes through. And it was a good read. It was a good read. And I don't know if I would ever read it again. Maybe, obviously not right now, but maybe like later down the line I would. The Shadows Between Us was kind of a nice little surprise. And again, I know that this book is sort of like really popular right now. I would say if you're into kind of like darker fantasy-ish, it's sort of fantasy-ish. Yeah, it's fantasy. Yeah, it's fantasy. So if you're into darker fantasy, I would say definitely give it a try, especially if you are seriesed out like I was. Because currently I am reading, oh gosh, how many other series am I reading? I'm going through the Serpent and Dove series. I'm going through the Renegade series. I'm going to be starting the Chaos Walking series. And I was like, I just need a standalone where I don't have to be committed to another book afterwards. So it's a nice little breather. It's a nice little short breather from series if you're reading one series after another. I would recommend it. I'd probably give this book, I would probably give this book a 4 out of 5 stars. Just again, because of like personal reasons, like the climax I felt like was a little bit too rushed, and then obviously the thing with like the murder that happens in it and how it's handled, I was a little bit. But again, that is just because I study real life cases where things like that happen, and so it's a little bit more personal to me. But that is just that's just me. Please don't let that deter you, because it is actually a very fun book, and the characters are a lot of fun, and they work really well off of each other, and they've got some good banter, they've got some good conversations. I would definitely say give this book a try. So there you all go. There's my quick little review of The Shadows Between Us by Tricia Levenseller. I have never actually read anything else by her. I know she's also written, Autumn bought this book, Daughter of the Pirate King, and I haven't read it. I keep seeing it, like it keeps popping up on my suggested for you page. So maybe now that I've read The Shadows Between Us, maybe I'll go read that. Obviously they have nothing to do with each other except that the author is the same, but I did really like her style of writing, and I liked the flow of it. So comment down below and let me know if y'all have ever read The Shadows Between Us. If you want to read The Shadows Between Us, I'm trying to keep this somewhat spoiler free for those who have not read it, so please do not post any spoilers down below. If you want to talk spoilers, find me on Instagram and we'll talk there. If you guys want to see more quick book review videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click that like button, and maybe ring that bell so you get notification every time I post a new video. But of course, as always, there is never any pressure, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!